Hello everyone, hope you and your family members and loved ones are all safe. Thank you for joining this webinar titled 9 Power BI Hacks to Visualize OBIE Data. I'm Dinesh from the BI Connector team and I'm Analytics Explorer in Guidance Inc. Before starting, I'd like to give you some quick information. This webinar is being recorded so for future reference purposes. And if you have any questions, you may directly shoot them in the chat window and we'll try to answer as much as possible by the end of this session. Okay, now you can see the title. It's 9 Power BI hacks to visualize OBIE data. So if you are a user of OBIE and Power BI, you probably know the problem with OBIE. It's with the limitations of OBIE in terms of self-service data visualization because it is a traditional BI tool, and Power BI as an advanced data visualization tool solves this problem by simple drag and drop and point and click uh, actions. You can easily visualize data and leverage Power BI's interactive data visualization features and self-service capabilities. And if you are using OAC or OAS, no worries. These 9 Power BI hacks will actually work in OBIE and OAC and OAS as well. Just in case if you are an end user and if you think I'm not much familiar with the technical stuff of OBIE, no worries. Actually, these Power BI hacks are all DIY stuff, so you can learn and use them yourself. With that said, let's jump into the agenda. First, we'll see the top reasons for connecting Power BI to OBIE from the IT team's perspective and the end user's perspective. Then we'll see the unique challenges in connecting Power BI to OBIE, followed by a quick introduction to BI connector. Then we'll have a short poll. Then we'll see the core of the webinar, which is the 9 Power BI hacks with demos. Then we'll see the benefits and close with the Q&A session. Okay, the top reasons for connecting Power BI to OBIE, let's see it from the end user's perspective. The end users, you love the self-service data visualizations of Power BI, and you can, it gives you options to do data blending. Say, if you want to blend your OBI data with other data sources that you interact with, like Datamart or any other application, then you can easily do the data blending in Power BI. And just in case if Power BI is a IT standard in your organization, that is, it is the enterprise data visualization tool, then you have no options but to stick to Power BI. But what happens is, in all these cases, the users are actually exporting data from OBIE and importing it into Power BI and then trying to visualize the data manually. And it gives rise to a lot of errors, and also it is a cumbersome process. As you can see, the users typically spend about 5 hours every week per user in exporting and importing data from OBIE into Power BI. That amounts to a productivity loss of about $10,000 per user per year. So the end users want to connect Power BI to OBIE and kind of automate that stuff rather than manually exporting and going through that cumbersome and painful process. Now let's see it from the IT team's perspective. The IT teams, you have already invested a lot of time and money in creating the existing OBIE or OAC or OAS assets, and you have already built a lot of complex schemas, joins, and aggregations. And on top of the thousands of reports are being consumed by the users, years of efforts have went to it, went to creating the existing assets, and it's almost a single source of truth. OBIE is a single source of truth, and you want to reuse rather than recreating all that stuff in Power BI from the scratch. It is again a painstaking process, and re-engineering is cost prohibitive as well. On an average, it takes about 6 months to migrate one subject area from Power BI, from OBIE to Power BI, and it requires an investment of about $250,000 in new investment. So just in case if you are having like 10 subject areas, then it is going to take about 5 years and it is going to cost you about $2.5 million. So you want to save the time and cost and you reuse the existing assets smartly. That's the reason you want to connect Power BI to OBIE probably. Now let's see the unique challenges in connecting Power BI to OBIE. First of all, OBIE as a data source in itself is a challenge because it is, unlike other data sources, it is a BI platform. So it has large data volume and it has complex schemas, joins, and the query performance is also another issue in OBIE. And on top of this, you have to achieve a combination of possibilities, flexibility to all combination of possibilities. Like the Power BI client could be desktop or server, the connectivity mode could be import or direct query, the data source type could be OBI subject areas or reports. And in the case of subject areas, you might want to retain the subject area joins. If you are not able to do it, then it ultimately defeats the purpose of connecting Power BI to OBI. And the last case, it's version compatibility is another showstopper. Many companies use 11G and some companies use 12C, and the Power BI version also will have to work with that OBIE version. As you know, Power BI is releasing updates every month, so almost every month. So this version compatibility is another showstopper for many people connecting Power BI to OBIE. And in some cases, that if you're already migrating or migrated to OAC and OAS, then as I mentioned earlier, it should work with OAC and OAS. The connector should work with OAC and OAS as well. So what you need is a unique connector that navigates all these challenges successfully. Now let's have a quick introduction to BI Connector. BI Connector is a leading OBIE to Power BI integration solution. It is a product of Guidance Inc., which is based in San Francisco Bay Area. It is battle tested since 2015, and BI Connector currently provides two connectors, that is Power BI to OBIE connector, which is Power BI certified, and Tableau to OBIE connector, for which the certification is in progress. And you can see that the technology partners, we are having partnership with Microsoft, Tableau, and Oracle to consistently improve the BI connector. And on the right side of the screen, you can see some of the companies using Power BI to OBI connector and Tableau to OBI connector as well. So, yeah, the 9 Power BI hacks with demos. This is the core part of this webinar. Before seeing the 9 Power BI hacks in detail, first let's see what are they. Number one, know your OBIE data. Then start with OBIE reports rather than subject areas. Then one-click troubleshoot, clear the Power BI cache, choose the right connection type between the import and direct query, use filters, fine-tune for long-running and large queries, use GZID for subject areas, and implement data security in cloud. Okay, now let's see them one by one in detail, and in between we'll also see them in action as well. First, know your OBIE. It's not just for OBIE, but it's for any other data source. If you want to analyze data from a data source, then you should be familiar with that data source, like how the, especially in OBIE, it is, you should know the fact and the dimension tables, how the relationships between the tables work, and not much in the detail, but at least the basic stuff to know. It's just all about improving your OBIE data literacy, which is essential for unlocking insights out of it in Power BI. So what we recommend is a fail-safe approach. All you can do is, you can have Power BI and OBIE side by side, take a report in OBIE and trace it back to the subject areas from which the report has columns, and then trace the folders and columns, and then connect to the same report from Power BI, create a visualization out of it, and verify if the results tally. This way you'll get familiar with OBIE, your OBIE data, and also with how BI Connector works with Power BI. Next, start with reports. This is very important because if you're connecting from Power BI to an OBIE subject area, you just need some additional steps to retain your OBIE joins. So what we recommend is you start with the basic one and then go to the advanced one. It's not actually advanced, it's just few simple steps, but we'll see them later. First, start with reports. If a data that you want to analyze is not available as an OBIE report, what we recommend is to create a report in OBIE first, and then access that report as a table in Power BI and start visualizing it. So this way you'll get familiarized with how BI Connector works. One-click troubleshoot. In some cases, you might face with connectivity issues. So all you have to do is, on the right side of the screen, you are seeing a Run Diagnostics button. Whenever BI Connector faces a connectivity issue, this dialog box opens up, and all you have to do is just click that run diagnostics. It will show you the reason for the error and the corresponding solution you or the action you need to take. So this way you can eliminate a lot of showstoppers like invalid credentials. Most of them are kind of, like invalid credentials or disabled web services or OBIE server down. In some cases, very rare cases, you might require some technical help. Otherwise, it's all just basic things. You can handle it yourself easily. You can be a step ahead in troubleshooting the connectivity issues with the run diagnostics button. The next one is clear the Power BI cache. This is applicable for any other data source in Power BI because at times Power BI cache shows up there. The data from the cache shows up in your visuals, and you might wonder why is the latest data not showing up. You might wonder that if there is any connectivity issue. All you have to do is just go to File, Options and Settings, and then Data Load, and then Clear Cache. That's it. Then you can restart Power BI and start visualizing your data. You can start with your analysis. Next, this one is very important. Choose the right connection type. So if you're dealing with reports or queries that perform well, then you can go for the direct query. Just in case if you're dealing with slow OBIE queries, you can choose the import option and automate the data import. But be sure that if you're using mixed connection types, let's say if you're using a direct query for import, direct query for OBIE and import for another data source or vice versa, you have to ensure that the composite models work for you. Next, use filters. This is also very common. Like if the more you narrow down to the data that you need for your analysis, the faster the queries, the shorter the report creation time. So you can experience a good performance. That too, in the case of OBIE, the reports could have sometimes millions of rows, and the more you narrow down, the faster the performance and the shorter the report creation time. And this one is regarding BI connector settings. Like you can fine tune for long running and large queries. Like for in the case of long running queries, as you can see in the BI connector advanced settings window here, I'm just pointing it out. You see an option, use custom timeout minutes. So all you have to do is make this time more than your unaccessed running timeout minutes in the OBA instance config file. The business users, you can just have a chat with your OBA admin and get this parameter. And all you have to do is just to make sure that this number is more than this parameter, that is the unaccessed running timeout minutes parameter. Just in case if you're dealing with large data volumes, we have another setting here, which is the maximum number of rows per fetch. And this setting automatically adjusts itself several times. We have configured BI connector like that, but just in case if nothing works out, then you might get an error. All you have to do is just go get the result row limit parameter from your OBA admin and make this value less than the result row limit parameter. So this way you can easily fine tune for long running and large queries and avoid errors and timeouts. In the case of C runtime errors, you just need to increase your OBIE memory allocation. Now let's have a quick demo in connecting Power BI to OBIE reports. Then we'll see how to retain your joins, the rest of the best practices. Okay, I'm just BA connector is a ODBC driver, uh, and as you can see, it works on 64-bit ODBC console. And I have 4 DSNs set up with BA connector right now. It is 2 for dev and 2 for prod environments. If you have UAT, you can just add them as well. So OBAE dev reports, OBAE dev subject areas, OBAE prod reports, and OBAE prod subject areas. Let's take this OBAE prod subject areas, and I'll walk you through how I've configured it. It's very simple. You're just entering the data source name here, and then the prod DSN. This is just a description for my understanding. And this server name is exactly the same URL that you're typing in a web browser for connecting to your OBIE account. And you are entering the port number here. Here you will have to enter the your OBIE credentials, and you can test the connection. I'm just entering my credentials here. I'm testing the connection now. Okay. And this is the data source type. I can choose between subject areas or reports here. Because I have the DSN name as subject areas, I've just chosen subject areas, and I'll have to manage the subject area list. It's highly recommended that you add the specific subject areas that you want to analyze, because uh, if you're not adding it, then you'll then BA connector will fetch data from all the subject areas, and it is going to take a lot of time. So I'll just add a subject area here. Save. Okay. Now I did for subject areas. The only variation in the reports in the case of DSN setup is I'm just going to choose the data source type as reports. Okay, I'm going to manage a report list. And here I can simply include my folder reports. But if I'm not checking this, and if I'm leaving this empty, then you'll have no access to any report in Power BI. So all you have to do is you have to click, if you want to include your folder reports, you can include them. And if you want to connect to a shared report, then you can just share the path here. It could be a report path or a folder path. I'll show you both. So first I'm just typing in a folder path. Okay, now I'll just type a report path, a specific report. Okay, save and save. So, and I'll also show you the BA connector advanced settings window for adjusting the, this gear icon. If you click it, you can just open the advanced settings, and you can change the custom timeout and the maximum number of rows per fetch settings here. Okay, now I'll hop onto the Power BI window. I'll take the first instance. So I have 4 instances, one for Power BI to OBE reports, import and direct queries. Then the next two for Power BI to OBE subject area, import and direct query. Okay, first I'll go for Power BI to OBE report. Uh, Maybe I'll just come from here. I'll go to get data. I'm clicking more. I'm just typing BA connector. As I mentioned earlier, it is a Power BI certified connector. So I'm clicking BA connector here. I'm clicking connect. Now I'm just going to enter the DSN name here. OBE prod reports. Since this is the first time I'm accessing this DSN from Power BI, it will prompt me to enter the credentials. Next time I'm logging in, then it won't prompt me, but at any time you can just go to the data source settings and delete the credentials. And okay, I'm just OBA Power BI report. Sorry, OBA prod reports. I'm first going with the import mode. Okay, I'm just entering the credentials here. These are the OBA credentials. So I'm clicking connect. I've added, I've just added my folder reports and a folder path and the report path. I'm just going to access a report here. So it's European orders. I just take it and I load it. It's loading. Okay, I'll go with the tabular report. I'll choose country and sales revenue. Okay, there you go. And if I want to convert this into a map, I'm just going to click this. And I'll add another report. to show you the interactiveness. So this time I'll go with the company name and quantity. Okay, there are so many, so I just want the top 10. So I'll just go with the basic filtering, top n, 10. I'll just go with the 10 and based on the quantity. So I just want to see them, from Germany, what are the companies? From France, what are the companies? So as you can see, I'm just leveraging all of Power BI's interactiveness features and self-service data visualization capabilities on my OBIE data. So achieving the same in OBIE is cumbersome, but in Power BI, it's extremely easy. You are tapping into the drag and drop options and the point and click actions, and you are making it very easy here through BI connector. Now I'll go to the next version. Next instance of Power BI. This time I'll go with OBI. I'll connect to OBI reports using direct query. So this time, because I've already connected to the DSN, it is not going to prompt me to enter my password. I mean the credentials, OBI credentials. I'm choosing direct query. Okay. I'm choosing the European orders report. I'm clicking load. Yeah, it's just the same thing, the same data set for this demo purpose. And this time I'll go with country and quantity. I'll just change that into a map, and yeah, there you go. Okay, now let's get back to the presentation and see the rest of the hacks. Okay, the next hack is use GCID for subject areas. So this slide is for import, and the next one is for uh, direct query. So you might be getting a question, what is this GCID? GCID is just a virtual ID created by BI connector to reuse the OBIE joins. You don't have to worry, you just have to follow some basic steps and you'll be able to retain your OBIE joins in Power BI successfully. In the case of import, all you have to do is launch the Power Query editor and connect the GCID from the fact table to each of your dimension tables. And you can apply the filters and remove the fields that you don't want to reduce the columns, and you can go. I'll show you how to do it in the demo. Let's see how to uh, do it in the case of direct query. In the case of direct query, you will have to navigate to the data relationship window in Power BI, and you'll have to connect I mean, you'll have to map the GCID from the fact table to the GCID from the dimension table. You have to repeat the step for all the dimension tables. Uh, just hold on a second. The bell is ringing. I am sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah. So all you have to do is join the GCID from the fact table to the dimension table you have to repeat the steps for each of the tables, and you have to ensure the cardinality is set as many to one and the cross filter direction is single. That's it. Now let's see them in action so you'll get familiar. Okay, I'm just getting back to the Power BI window. This time I'll just connect to the subject area. Get data, mode, BI connector. This time I'm going to enter the OBIE prod subject areas DSN. First I'll go with import, then I'll show you how to do it in direct query. Okay. Since this is the first time I'm connecting to this DSN from Power BI, I'm entering the credentials, the OBIE credentials, connect. Yeah, not win. So I'll just choose a fact table, which is my order details, and two dimension tables for this demo. So I'll choose customers and products. Okay, I'll transform data. Okay, as you can see, order details is my fact table and customers and products are my dimension tables. So I'm just choosing the fact table and merging the queries. I'm just going to create a flat table out of this data. So I'll go with customers first. I'll map the GCID from the fact to the GCID in the dimension table. The join kind is left outer. Okay. Now I'll repeat the same steps for the next dimension table, which is products. I'm mapping the GCID from the fact to the dimension, and I'm ensuring the join kind is left outer. Okay. Now I don't want all the columns here, so I'll probably select a few ones that I want for my analysis. Country, company name, and city here. And in the case of products, I just need the product name alone for my analysis. And additionally, I'll just apply some filters. I'm just applying the hack that we talked about, applying filters and narrowing down to the data that I need for my analysis. I'm just going to analyze the countries, the data from the countries in American continents, that is Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Mexico, USA, and Venezuela. Okay. Now I've merged all the data that I want into this order details table and created a flat table out of it. I don't want these two tables to load, so I'm just right clicking and unchecking enable load. Okay, close and apply. That's it. Your data is ready for analysis. You're successfully retaining your OBI joins in Power BI. Let's visualize and get back to the direct query steps. I'm just going with simple visualizations. So I'll go with the product name and sales revenue. Okay, so as you can see, it's very easy to create visualizations out of your OBI data in Power BI. I'm sorry. Okay, now I'll hop on to the next Power BI window to show you how to connect Power BI to OBE subject areas using direct query. So I'll get data. I'm choosing more. I'm typing in BI connector. Yeah, I'm clicking connect. Now I'll have to enter the DSN, OBIE prod subject areas. Direct query, I'm going to choose the direct query. Okay. Since I've already entered the credentials for this DSN, it's just directly taking me to the navigated window, and I'm going to choose the tables that I want for my analysis from my subject area. Again, I'll go with the fact table order details and customers and products. I'll click load. Now I'm just going to the data relationship window, and here I'm just joining the GCID from the fact table to the first dimension table. And in this window, I'm just mapping GCID to GCID here. And it is automatically determining the relationship cardinality. I have to ensure the cardinality is many to one and cross filter direction is single. Okay. Now I'll repeat exactly the same steps for the other dimension table, which is products. Cardinality is many to one and cross filter direction is single. Okay. Now I'll just go to the reporting canvas, and I'll just create a simple report. Yeah, product name, and from order details, I'll go with sales revenue and quantity. Yeah, there you go. So with BI connector, you can unlock the potential of your OBI data in Power BI, utilizing Power BI's self-service data visualization features and interactiveness capabilities. Now let's get back to the presentation. And we are coming down to the last hack, which is implement data security in cloud. So OBI's data security framework is not carried over into the Power BI cloud service or cloud through BI connector. So you have to ensure that you implement appropriate data governance sharing models for OBI datasets like you do for any other data source. Now let's have a quick look at the benefits. From the end user's perspective, you can enhance your data visualization effortlessly, and you're unlocking OBI data's potential, and you're easily visualizing the data in Power BI, which is very tough with OBI, and you're making faster decisions, saving time and avoiding manual errors, Excel exports, etc. And in the case of IT, you're reusing your OBIE and avoiding the re-engineering and the migration. So it is going to save you more than $250,000 in your investment, and you're reducing the BI backlogs and maximizing the value of your BI investment. BI Connector team at hello@biconnector.com. You can reach out to me at dinesh@guidance.com and mark@guidance.com.